Merriam-Webster's first definition of what goodwill means in business. Let's look at the next two. The value of projected earnings increases of a business, especially as part of its purchase price. Some of us know what that means. Let's read it again. The value of projected earnings increases of a business, especially as part of its purchase price. Do you know what it means? Let's look at the third one. The excess of the purchase price of a company over its book value, which represents the value of goodwill as an intangible asset for accounting purposes. I think we understand that goodwill is an asset because we just looked at the balance sheet, and we know that it's part of the accounting purposes because it is on the balance sheet in the asset column. Let's read it again. The excess of a purchase price of a company over its book value, which represents the value of goodwill as an intangible asset for accounting purposes. Yeah. So what does all that mean? And that's actually why I want to talk about my second word, which is literacy. And I'm going to start that particular conversation with an experience I had about 40 years ago. Yeah, 40 years ago. Crazy. Okay, I actually went over someone's house for dinner. And I sat down at the dinner table, and the dad was a VP of a large for-profit corporation. And as we all sat at the dinner table, he started talking about business. And he was talking about things I had no understanding of what he was saying. And I realized sitting there at that dinner table, there was a whole bunch of knowledge I did not get. And I was not getting it at the dinner table when I sat down as a little girl. But these people had been getting this information every day of all their lives. When I was a little girl sitting down at the dinner table, my experience was far different. First, we would say grace, which is a good thing. I learned exquisite table manners, and often my father would get pissed off at the dinner table, and he would take one of his 4 children into the bathroom for a spanking. And the rest of us that were at the table would cry. Dinner tables teach different things. If I had to choose one thing at those dinner tables that I learned, it was obedience. And that was far different than what those children were learning at the dinner table sitting there with that dad. So I actually want to look at the word literacy.